here's why I prefer not to eat breakfast, okay? So basically, when you wake up, cortisol levels are at its highest. Now, cortisol is not inherently bad, right? Just like no body process is inherently bad. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone, but it also helps keep you alert. And it's also like a breakdown. It's a catabolic hormone. So cortisol can actually be, it helps you break down body fat, right? Okay. And so in the morning, now when you have high insulin and high cortisol, right? That's not the best combination because insulin creates storage with cortisol. It's not the best. So in the morning when you fast and cortisol levels are highest, you also get an increase in growth hormone. And then your insulin levels are low, and it almost creates like the perfect state, for burning fat, because you have high growth hormone, which actually helps preserve muscle protein. You have low insulin, your cortisol levels peak in the morning, then they dip down, and then you start to feed yourself later on. So I find that style to work well. I've also seen some research where basically they controlled 2 groups of people. They had them basically eat their biggest meal, highest carb in the morning or in the evening. And funny enough, the evening group, they had retained more muscle, lost more fat, and had a lesser drop off of leptin, that hormone that helps you stay lean. So as far as my own experiences, my own personal experiences, as far as what I've seen, I'm working with clients, I find like our bodies are primed to wake up, to fast, to get stuff done, to drink coffee, have a kino octane, and then you can eat lunch. I eat a smaller lunch, a big feast, a little bit of dessert. And I like to work. It's like that's the whole dopamine thing, right? So I actually like to, be able to work hard and then look forward to a big feast.
Yeah, that's like your reward.
That's my reward. And that actually builds the dopamine pathways. And if I wake up, do nothing, eat a big breakfast, it's just, that's wrong. There's one way to do fasting. You don't eat breakfast. And then, I get so annoyed when people say, well, technically breakfast is break fast. So even the first meal of the day is breakfast. Shut the fuck up, bro. I never get crazy. Laid. That's crazy. Seriously? Well, technically, a breakfast is break fast. No shit. We all know this.
I don't know how, fasting at night must be we do the morning ones. Like the morning you feel dialed, bro.
I have days, man, where I won't eat my first meal. Like I'll wake up at, let's say 7:30. No, I have days where I'll go 3-4 p.m. until I have my first meal.
Yeah.
But I get so much work done prior to that. Then I eat, and then you go into that little bit of like lethargic state, and then the work isn't as easy to do at that point.
Yeah. So what I do is for my first meal, it's very strategic. I eat maybe 400 or 500 calories, stave off hunger, get some protein in. Yeah. And then I have my substantial meal for dinner. Cool. So that way I still feel like I eat that meal. I'm going.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to eat like a bigger lunch, and then I feel exactly that way. And sometimes I eat a bigger lunch, like I want to keep eating. Yeah. Like my brain is very interesting. Like I'm like, I can be like all or nothing, where it's like, I'd rather just keep it light and then be able to eat the big feast. Yeah. I can't, and I have a big appetite, so I know how to famoose the goose. I know how to keep myself lean. I've learned these tricks. I took a long time to figure out, even for dinner sometimes, if I'm making dinner, I'll have some steak, some broccoli, and then I'll wait like 30, 45 minutes, put on a TV show, eat my potatoes, and the whole meal is extended. Where if I eat everything in 10 minutes, I'm like, kind of want to keep snacking.
It's true.
Yeah.
Fuck. You're dropping gems right now.
Dropping gems.
Y'all better get fit as fuck after
Y'all
this
better,
episode.
Well, we have a famous question, but before we ask you the famous question, I have one more question.
But to finish that last point about whichever way is more enjoyable for you. Yeah. So if you want to eat breakfast and you feel great eating breakfast and you don't need to eat late at night and that's your style, then go and do that. I can sometimes eat an hour before bed. It's fine as long as you hit your calories. The idea that eating late is going to cause fat storage is wrong. If you're in a deficit, you're in a deficit. Also, if you eat at night, people are like, oh, well, you won't get that boost in growth hormone. Growth hormone actually comes up in a pulse-like fashion. So you can eat an hour before bed. You can eat 5-6 hours before bed. The main thing is do whatever is most enjoyable for you. Yeah. So if you want to try my style and you love it, amazing. If you prefer to eat breakfast or 5 meals, do whatever allows you to eat a calorie deficit and stick to it, because ultimately that's going to be the most important for your overall health and your body fat. And if you're trying to fast all day and you do this long fast, but then you eat 4,000 calories, you're not going to get leaner.